So the problem is when we get stuck, right, into one definition of who we are. What happens there? It's one, we build this barrier in which we don't see other people. We don't see. We see what we want to see.
That makes sense.
Right? Mm-hmm. And then we apply to ourselves the definition of this is what I am and that's it.
Yeah.
Right? But evolution requires us to shed, right? Like the snake shed the skin, to shed and move forward because that's life, right? And you have to be able to find ways to not just redefine who you are, but I would say more rediscover aspects of who you are.
Rediscover.
Right? So you have to have that perspective. You have to be able to look at things, and sometimes, most of the times, right? Most of the time, it happens unwillingly. Mm-hmm. This is the unfortunate part. Mm-hmm. The unfortunate part is like nobody really changes. Most people, let me rephrase that. Most people, at least not for me, my personal experience, changed willingly, right? Something had to be a catapult to change.
I think that's always kind of how it is, right?
But there's also we also have the option to be able to do it willingly if we're aware. If we begin to realize, oh my God, okay, I'm feeling this. Why am I feeling this way? I'll be transparent. I'm feeling, in the last few weeks, I've been feeling very anxious, very like, oh my God, right? And why? It's like, because I'm at the stage in life in which one of my priorities and one of the most important things in my life is self-expression. Mm-hmm. And expressing what I've learned throughout my life, sharing what I learned throughout my life with the intention of being a guide and helping someone, right? And it sounds naive, but that's what I'm feeling. And the more that I do this and the more that I do the writing, the more that I go out and talk to people and see the need and like, oh my God, the craving for it, it kind of like lets me know, there's something here. Keep at it.
Yeah, and I would say that it's not naive. You said that, but I think that's sort of derogatory to what it is that you are setting out for your path. And so I don't want listeners to think, it is naive for me to think that, because I think there is an element of being naive about that, but it's also, it's in spite of or against what it is that you need to do to have that freedom.
And I'm happy that you call me out from that, because that is absolutely true, right? So one of the things that I've learned.
I didn't mean to call you out.
No, but it's a very good point, because it goes to show, again, it goes to show how your mind works.
Yeah.
How you want to put something. Excuse me. When you're following something and you're like, I'm minimizing.
Well, I'm minimizing. That's the word I was looking for.
Minimizing it, right?
Yeah, and that's not the way that we need to approach this,
it, right? And the reality is this, right? Having this childlike mentality, right? It's part of the evolution of shedding the past, right? Because you can't create values or can't create anything new if you're still bound to the past. So only a child, right, could create things, Now I'm using I'm okay, you're okay, transactional analysis terminology. Only a child could create something new, right? And that's the premise of it all. Mm-hmm. And it's a hard thing to realize, right? Because also it's very vulnerable, But it's nature, right? When you look at a river, right, and you look at a riverbank, right, what does it do? It spreads. Mm-hmm. Same thing with us, right? And that's how things keep evolving. They just keep going in different directions to find the way that suits them best, and that's the same thing that has to happen with us. But I'm not saying, that's why it's a quest, and not everybody's going to be able to do it.
Right.
And not everybody has been able to do it. But those that persevere and those that go into aspects of leadership and culture purposefully, knowing what they're doing, really are the ones that make a big impact on the whole.